I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin. In this video, we're going to have a look at Outer Ring, one of the most requested videos. So here it is. One of the projects that I did look at when it launched. I haven't looked at it ever since, but in that launch period, it did extremely well, which was close to about a year ago. So you can see definitely big uptrend in the beginning. And then when the bearish market hit, it has been on a stable level, let's say. What is most interesting is that all of the tokens are almost vested, and on the last vesting release, the token pumped quite significantly, which is interesting, so to say. So we're going to have a deeper look. What are they up to, and what is going on with the price? Are there some indicators available to see if this might be an interesting play long term? So when we actually look at the complete overview of Outer Ring, it's a deep space MMO. Website looks pretty clean. They have quite a nice trailer which I can play, and they have some gameplay available. I was actually quite impressed by the gameplay because it looks similar to the actual tech demo trailer. Usually you see all of these fancy trailers and then the game looks nothing like it. It's a lot more low quality. But here the game actually looks very much similar to what they are displaying right here. So they have open testing available, which is one of the earliest stages, of course, the alpha testing of a game, which is at least good. You know, they're making progression. It's been a year since the token has been deployed, and hopefully that will bring some significant utility to the token soon. We're not going to do a deep dive in this video in terms of what the game actually looks like. We're going to primarily focus on the price movement indicators and see where the potential is. What we notice specifically is that looking at the volume, it's traded quite nicely. Obviously, it has seen quite an uptake in volume, and the average volume on low days was still, you know, quite significant. We're talking $750,000, $800,000, primarily traded on PancakeSwap. So out of the 1.6 million, 920,000 came from PancakeSwap, and then Huobi is pushing the centralized exchange volume with about just over $500,000. Market cap, non-confirmed by CoinMarketCap, it's sitting at about 13 million. Fully diluted value 31 million. So nothing too crazy here just yet. On the overall token index coming in at 2,715. We're going to have a quick look at track digits. Sign up link in the description for free. I did a little breakdown on the upcoming releases and then relative to what has been released before. So the next release is about a month from now. Interesting to note that there's some significant profit specifically on the seed, but the relative value is not shocking when it goes against circulating supply or it goes against trading volume. So the supply shock will not be that significant. We're talking a daily trading volume. If that would be sustained at about, 1 million to 1.5 million, then that initial 250,000, which at 100% ROI in the current state of the market, I would assume people would dump, is not that significant in terms of the price impact. Yes, you'll see some turbulence, but it will not be a major issue. Overall, being released about $850,000, that would be, at the current trading, 57% of daily trading volume. Addition of 6%, and what you can see that these are the last rounds where private seed and pre-seed is released. Once we're going here, our pre-seed is still there, but it's almost insignificant. There's only $52,000. Advice is there, so the seed and the private vesting is ending, which you can also see in the percentages, right? So it will become a lot more stable after this release, and this is what we see with a lot of tokens that had vesting 12 months usually. They launched a year ago, so these rounds are almost done. You can definitely see that on the graph as well. The line trend is becoming very horizontal there. Important to note that the treasury and the rewards, basically staking I would assume, have the biggest percentage there. The private round, where most of the tokens came from the investment, 20%, and then pre-seed is only 3%. And that's why it's less significant. Price movement from past releases, quite interesting, because it has been showing some extremely upward trends on every single release. I'm going to do a little bit of a deep dive right there to see if we can find something strange there. You can see basically every time the token has vested, which is the 0 hour, you've seen a significant uptrend in the price, which is unlikely. When a token vests, more tokens enter the market. Did they time their announcements well to absorb that shock? This time, however, a couple of days ago, that wasn't the case. So although the entire market is pumping, people were dumping their tokens, and you can see the price going down therefore. But then again, after that period, price went up, and now obviously it's only a day ago, so we still have to see which numbers come in the next couple of hours. As mentioned, see 12 months, 12 months, 10 months, and these are all going to expire next month. All that you then really have is that pre-seed still to be unlocked, and the rest of the tokenomics, primarily, the advisors, team, etc. Is the team on there even? Yeah. So 3 years lock. So that's not even included yet. That will be way later. So I want to do a quick analysis, and that's obviously why I'm using track digits, to see the discrepancy here. So we're going to go back to the 3rd of January. So we need 3 months. And then January, and then I'm going to basically pull in to Jan, which is about here, I would assume, yeah, and just get a quick highlight what happened right there. So this was the 1st of Jan, then the 3rd of Jan, the vesting was released, and you can see that initial sell-off right here, right? So it went from 1.9 to 1.8, then 1.9, and then it went up again about a week later, right, which is interesting right there. In terms of the actual percentages, comparing that to what happened in February, so we're looking at the 10th of Jan, I want to go into February, we see very much a different trend right here, right? So what we're seeing is that at the end of January it started pumping, and then into that release, which occurred the 3rd of February, I need to make it a little bit bigger, right? That pump basically came to an end. So this is the vesting release drop right here. Assumingly the volume also went up significantly by $500,000, and that unlock value at that period was $2.5 million. So not everybody sold in that case, but quite significant to see that the project price remains quite stable. Obviously there's fluctuations, right? If you look at today, the 7 days, it has gone 3.9, we're now at 3.1, so it's down a little bit, but not down that significantly, where you see a $2.5 million unlock and 1.6 is basically being traded. If we would compare that to, let's assume that these 4 categories would be the same, because here you have 4 categories as well, then the actual option of tradable volume, private plus seed plus pre-seed, is a total of 650, 700K. Yeah, a little bit higher maybe. Yeah, a little bit higher. But that basically is the amount that was added to the tradable volume. So that was actually quite interesting to see that perhaps the share here, the market value at the time was more significant. When we take an overview, basically for the longevity of the project, going all the way down, so the pre-seed value, there was no pricing available from the white paper, so that is important to note. So these token prices relatively on the take profit are not included. That's why you see the discrepancy in the data. I was wondering, why do the numbers not add up, but the pre-seed has no provided data by the project? So do take that into consideration. Needs a little bit more room, because obviously if the seed gets 100% ROI, then the ROI on pre-seed would be more significant. However, they have significantly less tokens, right? That's important to note. So overall, yeah, we would assume that they have done really well so far on the price movement, right? Has been very stable, but they've also, in terms of tokens that are going to enter the market that are being released from vesting, which obviously not treasury holds, not reward holds, depending on, so the rewards and the liquidity are unspecified. It is important to note that these releases, 5-year linear cliff, that these releases are still ongoing, but they have a specifically non-supply shock way on the open market. Yes, rewards will slowly drip into the market, but it's important to note that, for example, a treasury can be deployed by the company, but that's something that could be operated at any specific time. They might use it, for marketing expenses or whatever. The base vesting, where we know investors invest and want to take profit, I would say that's the most considerable part. I put up Crypto Gains, shout out to him for his little video on YouTube, where you can see that the game actually exactly looks like what the little icon style, what they provided in terms of the tech demo. It looks clean, not gonna lie. It's not really my style of game. It's little, what's it called, like blocky Lego style-ish, but definitely looks like they're quite well on their way in terms of what they wanted to build, and definitely in the style that they want to build. It looks like a fun game. I don't play games, but it's good to see that they're actually building something, and there's significant progression with a full operated tech demo. So that's everything for Outer Ring. Long-term projection, obviously never financial advice, just an indication by utilizing track digits, link in the description below. Stability coming to this project. So no more significant amount of tokens going to enter the market the next coming months. If the GameFi obviously follows the trend from the last bull market, right? The last 3 months, you can see extremely stable. We're going to potentially see some good results. Tying that in with the Outer Ring gameplay, moving from, let's say, a tech demo into alpha, beta, and then obviously public. That might take like a year. I'm not really sure, just considering all the other games roadmaps, right? I think they have a roadmap here as well, which we can quickly peek, have a quick look on what that looks like. There we go. I thought there was nothing there. So official trailer Q2, early access pre-alpha in June, right? So it's definitely 6 months, and this might be 6 months of horizontal movement. However, 12 million, where basically at the all-time high, it was definitely a lot more, right? So assuming taking into consideration the reversal in the market, there is quite some potential. So if you are an investor, you might want to hold on to your tokens. Of course, if you're a seed investor with 100% ROI, you can make your choices there. However, I would say, reading from the data, there are no more significant supply shocks coming in. One of the movements might be that last initial release happening in March, about a month from now. Thereafter, you will see a lot of stability on this token. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.